I struggled with the question of, do I fight harder? Do I try harder? Or do I just walk away? So if you're in a place trying to figure out if you should end this relationship or not, let me tell you, staying in limbo is not ideal. I would never recommend anyone just to stay in limbo thinking every single day, should I end this? Should I work on it? Should I end this? I do not believe that people should stay together or marry just because you've been together for a certain number of years. But I've been with that person 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We have history. Okay, but if you're living in misery, time does not matter. It's what you do with your time. There have been people who've gotten together, stayed together just knowing each other for a week versus you could date somebody for 7 years and really still not know that person because you did not intentionally invest that time into getting to know somebody. So staying together with somebody for 17 years and saying, well, we've been together forever, so we should just ride this out. Y'all, that is not what I'm going to talk about on this video because if you aren't doing something with the amount of time that you spend with somebody, then time is irrelevant. Either stay in the relationship and make it work and put in the work and invest into each other or move on. The thing about being in a relationship is it takes two people to say I do, and it only takes one person to say I don't. Once one person checks out of the relationship, then if you were the one that's left behind and you're the one watching this video, please hear me clearly. If someone has checked out of the relationship and has left this relationship behind, you have no choice but to walk away. But if both people are still checked in, you have to consistently wake up and choose your partner every single day. But if you've gone through that and you say, I've tried that and I've done this and I've done that, and my partner isn't meeting me, not even halfway, but they're not meeting me at all, then baby girl, baby guy, you're not going to have a choice but to save your dignity and move on. So we live in a society where we think that we have endless options. Gone are the days when you went to the local Piggly Wiggly and you liked a very attractive girl at the cashier counter, and then you say, you know what? I want to marry her. And then y'all have 2.5 children together, the white picket fence, and y'all grow old together. Those days are honestly gone, especially if you live in a metropolitan area or anywhere that where you can access the internet and online dating. Online dating has given us an illusion that, you know what, if I don't like this relationship, I can just swipe right and left, and then I can have a whole new, brand new relationship just like that in a matter of minutes. And it gives us the perception that I don't have to try it with this person. I could just go get another person like tomorrow. We can also thank the internet for giving us the illusion that, you know what, it's not me, it's my partner. I told you it was my partner, it was not me. So, you know what, I'm just going to replace my partner and I'm going to try anew with somebody else again tomorrow. When it's time to leave a partner, yeah, I stand in the middle for two reasons. One, I am blessed to have been raised in a two-parent household for all my life, right? My parents are still married, even though I'm a grandmother of two myself. My parents are still happily married after 51 years of marriage. Now, have all those years been full of sunshine and rainbows? Hells no. And I can distinctly remember when it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. So my parents have gone through their ups and downs. The other viewpoint that I have is where I myself did end a marriage. I was married for 12 years and I ultimately chose to end the marriage, even though I didn't come from a family full of divorce at all. I have a different perspective, meaning that I don't side one way or the other. I have seen relationships that fight through the ups and downs. But then on the flip side, I also come from the viewpoint of, well, if it ain't working and you tried, well, damn it, maybe it's time to end the relationship. I struggled with the question of, do I fight harder? Do I try harder or do I just walk away? And if you're watching this video, you probably are asking yourself the exact same question. If this is the first time to my channel, y'all, I am Vee Mindful. I'm a certified relationship coach and published author. On this channel, y'all, we talk about everything related to relationships, everything from masculine and feminine balance, from attachment styles, as me being a former avoidant. And we talk about communication issues. I talk about the blocks that are holding you back from having a healthy relationship, either with someone else, but ultimately with yourselves. Now, in this video, I could easily say if you're feeling more sad than happy, yeah, in the relationship, I could easily say that. But I'm not even going to say that because if you think that your relationship is always going to bring you happiness, joy, peace, laughter, then you shouldn't even be in a relationship because relationships have ups and downs. Your relationship is not going to be the sole source of your happiness. And if it is, You're in the wrong mindset to even have a relationship. You create your own happiness. That's why it's so important before we get into these relationships that we are internally happy ourselves. Because if you are depending on your partner to be the source of your happiness, then you are setting your partner up to fail. Now, your partner could absolutely contribute to your happiness, and they absolutely should. A healthy relationship should contribute to your happiness, but it cannot be the source of your happiness. Now, in this video, I'm going to go over a few tips, and these are important tips. These are tips for you to consider and evaluate if it's time to leave the relationship or if it's time to fight harder. In this video, I'm not going to tell you, well, if your man doesn't pay all your bills and girl, leave him. That is not my standpoint, and that is not what I'm going to cover in this video. This channel is for the mature woman, the woman who's over 30, over 35, who's grinding, who handles her business and she knows how to do so. Now, these are tips I want you to consider because ultimately, whether you stay or go in a relationship, y'all, that is your choice and your choice alone. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And even if I were coaching you, I still will not tell you what to do in your relationship. That has to be your choice and your choice only. I can only guide you and ask you the question that gets you to think. Relationship goes through ups and downs. And if you're together long enough, your relationship will face challenges. One thing that I see repeatedly is that couples throw in the towel fast as hell these days. One little blip up, one little flip, I'm out, I'm done. This relationship isn't for me. I find that a lot of us are addicted to the newness of a relationship. We're addicted to, oh my gosh, all we do is go out to eat, have fun, laugh, kick it, and they go home. Then when shit hits the fan, because in all relationships they do that, oh my gosh, now we got to talk about the bills, the mortgages. Did you pick up the kids? Did you wipe up the throw up? Did you pick up the dog doo-doo? So before you decide to throw in the towel because the newness of the relationship is gone, push pause. Because if that's the only thing that's going on in your relationship is the fact that now y'all have real responsibilities, don't just jump up and leave a relationship just because the newness is gone. That new feeling, that new car smell is gone. And some of y'all probably trade in cars just like that. I used to be like that. I remember one time, I think in a 2-year span, I had 6 different brand new cars. Oh my gosh. That probably was a good sign about me having an avoidant attachment style. Here's another tip for you to evaluate if your relationship is over. Is the respect still there? Do you two respect each other? I'm big on this. But one thing that I can sit here and tell you over years and years and years of my own relationships, as well as coaching other people through their relationship issues, if the two of you are arguing to the point where it has now become disrespectful, or their actions against you are disrespectful, or you yourself are being disrespectful to your partner, it is time to evaluate if that relationship is for you. At no point, if we are in a relationship and if we are arguing, and I don't like to argue. One thing about me, and if I'm coaching you, I'm telling you right now, I will teach you how to not argue because arguing, I have not ever seen a productive argument. Never, and I probably never will. We can have productive disagreements. We can have very productive conversations, but you cannot have a productive argument. But let's say that you are having an argument. Let's say that your voices are elevated. Because if I have to elevate my voice, I'm walking away. I'm not saying I walk away from the relationship. I'm saying I'm going to exit left the room. Let's just say that somebody starts name calling out your name, being very disrespectful to you in words or in using hands. If the respect is not in the relationship, then why are you? Respect is something very hard to bring back into the relationship. I left my marriage because the respect was gone. Just like that. I didn't think twice about it. I just left. One night he didn't come home until 7:30 in the morning. In the morning, the sun was shining bright as hell, y'all. I mean, bright as day. I left that marriage that day. That day, he had to exit the premises and he was never allowed to come back in. I don't care where he was. He walked in on his own 2 feet. He was fine. He was healthy, everything. Our oldest son was awake and he was going to football practice. And I said, you know what? If my son saw this, which he did, then what are my kids going to think of me? I've raised 3 sons. How my sons viewed me was very important. I didn't want them to view me as somebody who would just accept any old thing. Once you do something disrespectful, in my eyes, in front of the family, you have made that decision for the whole family. So I walked away and I never looked back. I moved on because if the respect is not in the relationship, then why are you? And all of this honestly comes from a place of you working on you, because sometimes some of us think that we're not worthy of respect. Sometimes some of us don't even realize that this is not a relationship that we should be in anyways, because we don't have the confidence that we should have about ourselves. We don't have the self-love that we should have about ourselves. A lot of times that piece is missing. And therefore, we allow the disrespect because we think sometimes it's better to have somebody than nobody. Oh, look at her. She's single. She can't get a man. She probably happy as hell without a man. She out here living her best life. We make these judgments thinking that, oh my gosh, she can't get a man. She's been single for 10 years. She probably living her best life out here without the stress and the drama of dealing with somebody else. So y'all better hold them judgments, because that could easily be you. I'll tell you this, though. You know, ooh, she about to drop my drink. Oh, okay. Okay, Raina. Okay. I tell you, I think she understands what I'm saying, because I was just talking about self-respect. And here she come talking about I want to be respected. God, Leah. So if you find that is you, that you don't even have enough self-respect for yourself, your relationship is only going to be as healthy as you are. Maybe the question you should be asking yourself is, should I work on myself? Am I ready to even be in a relationship? Am I in a healthy position to even receive the love that I know that I deserve? Do I even know what a healthy relationship looks like? Do I? If you were on a deserted island where it was just you and your partner, how would you feel? Do you think the two of you could work together to get off this island? Do you think that you could rely on your partner? Do you have a partnership with your partner? Can you two work together to get you off this deserted island? Or is that interaction on that deserted island going to be full of blame, yelling, it's your fault, we're here because of you? Or will your partner help you and you two come together to get your butts off this deserted island? I want you to ask yourself this question. Can you emotionally lean on your partner? Can you? Is your partner emotionally available to support you? Or do you feel like your partner is going to judge or criticize you? I know a lot of people who have been together for many, many years and still have not been open and vulnerable with their partner because they fear being criticized. They fear being judged for feeling a way that they feel. This is where trust and vulnerability comes into play. If you're blessed enough to get your man to open up to you, because let me tell you, it's a lot of men out here who are suffering through loneliness, they're suffering from emotional fatigue, a lack of being supported. And I know women, I'm not saying we don't have these same concerns. I understand. I'm not saying that at all, because I know we do. I am a woman. Hear me roar. You hear me? So if a man is opening up to you, please, the worst thing you could possibly do is weaponize his vulnerability. What does that mean? That means throwing stuff back in his face. All you're going to do is cause that man to never open up to you again. Create the emotional space for your partner to open up. If you're thinking about ending a relationship, think about, does your partner create that space? Now, sometimes I understand not having that space, but it's a different thing by intentionally not creating the space. Because if you don't have that space, you can work towards it. You guys can share a little bit, share a little bit, share a little bit until you're open in a relationship. But if somebody is intentionally criticizing you, hurting you, throwing things back into your face, weaponizing your words, y'all, it is absolutely necessary for you to evaluate your relationship. Not me. That's a deal breaker for me. Because you know what? I'm going to tell you why. I know that's an emotional trigger for me. You have to know your triggers. But if you're watching this video and you know yourself that you have weaponized somebody's vulnerability, you have weaponized their hurt in an argument against them, then I'm sitting here telling, please learn from your lesson and vow to never do that again. You're shutting down the relationship yourself. You ain't got to ask. You ain't got to ask if I should end the relationship, because that other person might end a relationship with you. If you feel like you'd like some emotional support and emotional help and guidance, y'all, I am here for you. I've been where you've been. And I've coached many men and women who've been where you've been. Y'all offer one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description, y'all. I want to thank everyone who sent me a question via email or left a comment. I will thank you tremendously from the bottom of my heart. Y'all, till next time, please take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week.